Hi Floss Tube, my name's Dana and my channel name is Gemstone Stitches. I'm all set up here on a Saturday night to do a video. I've been wanting to get on here and update you guys with what I've been working on for a while, and I'm going to do it this evening. I have a lot to show because it's been about 3 months since my last video. So let's just get started. The last time I saw you, I think it was the very end of June, and I had plans on working on Christmas in July and Joan Elliott July. So I started out with Up on the Rooftop by Tilton Crafts, and I'm stitching this 1/1 on 25 count, full cross. And I am happy to say I was able to finish the page I was working on. So there is Mr. Santa. There's a thread on it. Okay, good. Thought, what is that? It looks really good. It is very confetti heavy to get that snow and the trees down here. Anytime there's chimney, Santa, this is the start of his sled. But I'm happy to say that the sky is pretty nice to stitch on because it's a lot of the same color. Just have to watch out for those stars. The chimney is smoking. Really love this one. So I'm up here and I got a sled. So I think I'm gonna have a lot of sky to do the next couple pages. Maybe the top of some reindeer until I get over to that next chimney. Okay. Then we have Victorian Dollhouse by Joan Elliott. And I'm stitching this on Ariel Cashel linen. I only wrote Ariel. Okay, so it must be 28 count Ariel Cashel linen 2/2. And I worked a lot down here on this lower level. I had this house or room finished. So you can, this is the front entryway and these are the stairs. I started stitching on the woman that's going to be right here. And then I worked a lot on the wallpaper. This is going to be a fireplace. So a good chunk stitched on that. So the fireplace is here and there's vases and flowers and furniture down here. I was stitching that blue on that woman's dress. That one's an easy stitch. There's a lot of colors and you have to pay attention, but it's a pretty easy stitch. Then next, for Christmas in July, I worked on my stocking. This is the stocking for me. It's called Sleigh Ride at Dusk. It's a Dimensions Gold kit. I'm trying to see what you can see in the background. Probably my messy room. So I started in the middle. So I'm kind of working on the house and the church there mostly. And I'm using the Ada that came in the kit. here it is. Lots of color changes in this one. But I'm making my way on over to the other edge of the stocking, I believe. These always turn out so good. There's no back stitching in it yet. But once I get that in there, it's going to pop. I usually always wait for a back stitch at the end. I'll probably work on that one in December a little bit. Okay, what else? Okay. Next up is Northern Expressions Needlework, Esther's Waves. And this one's stitched on 32 count lamb's wool Jobelin even weave. I have all the stitching done. This is a heavily beaded project. So this row is already done with the beads in. And then these two rows, this orange one and this yellow one, were already done. I'm not sure, this green Jessica stitch row might have been done with the bead last time, but I know for sure what I was working on was this row. And you can tell that I'm not quite done. I went all the way to here, and I still have that many to go. And I'm gonna run into an issue here because I used Mill Hill petite beads, I think. Is that what they're called? The smaller bead of Mill Hill. And I only had one pack. And I got these beads before it was hard to get Mill Hill beads. So I'm hoping that I can somehow get my hands on the exact same bead, or else I'm not quite sure. I might have to try my hand at ordering a bunch of delicate beads and match it the best I can. But it's super sparkly. So I'm just making my way through rows as I go. I still got to do the top two and this orange one here before I can, I'll probably, once I get this one done, I'm going to have to move it. And at that point, I'll switch it on to my, this frame, I forget what it's called, and put some felt in so that I don't crush the beads. But if you look, it's big. So it goes from up here all the way down to there. It's a big project. But I do love working on it. What do I have next? Ooh, okay, so this is a fun one. This is probably a big reason I took a break from filming. Just because I was really busy stitching. And I enjoyed every minute of it. But yeah, you know, the start of the school year seems to be a super busy time of year. And I tend to want to organize and clean that time of year, even more so than like the spring cleaning. I feel like I just want to get everything ready and nice for the start of a school year. So I was busy doing that kind of thing. But my cousin was getting married in San Francisco, and I wanted to stitch her something for the wedding. So I looked, and I saw a couple San Francisco cross stitches, and then I stopped looking for a little while, and then I looked again, and I saw one that was perfect, because I remember when I met my cousin's fiance, he taught me about the fog that comes into San Francisco, and I didn't realize there was a fog there. And I remember him saying how he's kind of started to enjoy the fog. I don't remember exactly how he worded it. It was funny, but it just stuck in my head that he talked about the San Francisco fog. And when I looked online again, I found this this cross stitch by Satsuma Street. It's called Pretty Little San Francisco. I've seen a lot of people stitch Satsuma Streets, but I liked it because you can see there's all the fog in there. So I got busy stitching on that and working. I've actually already been to the wedding, and it was a blast. I'd never been to California, never been to San Francisco. It was a super cool city. Really, really enjoyed it. It's like almost another world, it seemed like. And I had it all planned out to get, like, I was going to put it in a little box, finish it in a hoop, put it in a little box, and bring it with me. And I got it finished like 2 days before, well, almost finished. And then I wanted to personalize it with their names and the date of the wedding on the bottom. So I have this little book with all these different fonts, if you will, to stitch letters in, stitch words in. So I picked what I like to use, and I practiced and kind of sketched it out. And I stitched it once and I didn't like it, so I had to pull it out and then stitch it again. I stitched it like on one side, then I wanted it to be in the middle. And I stitched it again, and right when my mother-in-law came over, she was going to stay at our house to watch the kids while we left, I was showing it to her. This was the night before we were leaving, so my plan was to show it to her, pack, put it in the hoop. I had already washed it, ironed it, and then just, you know, pack it nicely. I even got the box out, the tissue paper, everything. And I showed it to her. And my mother-in-law, she has cross-stitched before. And I told her, so look at the names. Is it easy to read for you? And so she read it, and she said my cousin's name kind of funny. And I thought, what? What? Is it hard to read? I looked at it, and I realized I left a letter out of her name. So I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I can fix that easy. Just real quick, take out the first couple letters, redo it, make sure that letter's in there, we're done. Okay, and I also thought I had hoop upstairs in my little craft area. Because I remember having these hoops. I have like 3 sets of them, and they're always like in the way a little bit, trying to get to other stuff. And I don't even remember why I have these. Maybe it's because I was making the mobiles for my kids' rooms. That's probably what I got it from. But pull it out and look, these hoops don't have any hardware to connect them together, and they don't fit within each other. They're not this kind of hoop where they fit, one fits in with the other and then you twist the top to tighten it up. No. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't. All right, I guess I'm just gonna have to mail it because it's too late to go to a craft store at this point. And yeah, so that's how it goes, you know. Try your best. But here is the finished product. And I need to iron it again. It looks like I covered the names in the D. I stitched this 1/1 18 count on Picture This Plus fog linen. So I got fog linen because of the fog. So I thought that was very fitting. It's just kind of this lightly mottled grayish. Oh, it almost, yeah, you can kind of tell when I have it like this, the little bit of modeling. I did cut off a piece up here and washed it and dried it before I washed the whole project, because I just wanted to make sure if I washed it that it didn't basically turn this white. And it was fine. So I was able to wash it because this is all DMC. But if you look, there's all the different cool things about San Francisco. The Golden Gate Bridge, of course, the trolley, Chinatown, the painted lady houses right here. And probably a lot more. What's cool is it came with this little guide to show. There's 11 different things in here. That about San Francisco, so I'm going to give that to my cousin as well. Not that she probably won't be able to figure it out herself, but just in case. What else? Oh, I did personalize it just a bit because this, what is it called? Well, if I look at the number, I might be able to tell. Number 8 is San Francisco's Ferry Building, I guess. I think that's what it is. Anyway, there's a clock on it. So I put the time for 6 o'clock because that's the time that their wedding started. It was supposed to be 3 o'clock, which made it, I think, look more like a clock. Now it's just kind of a line, but anyway, I thought it was cute to personalize it like that. So I'm excited to be able to share it with you and also go ahead and gift it. I will be gifting it to her and mailing it to her prior to posting this video, just in case she watches my videos. I don't want the surprise to get ruined because she doesn't know that I did that yet. So even though that was kind of a small piece, it took a chunk of time, and you know, life is busy. I get tired, and even though I might have time to stitch at night, I'll put like 2 lengths of thread in and then kind of just lose my steam. I don't know if that happens to you guys. Like once you stop your thread and you have to put another piece of thread on, sometimes it like breaks your rhythm and you kind of don't get back into it. That seems to happen to me sometimes. Okay, so when I was flying to San Francisco, we had from Vermont to Philadelphia is just an hour. And then from Philadelphia to San Francisco is 5 hours or 6 hours. I can't even remember anymore. It could have been, it's 5 or 6 hours. So I made sure to bring myself some stitching. And what I brought along was, and these both are going to be starts. So it is called Thankful by Stone Street Stitchworks. I don't even remember where I got this. But I know I snapped it up one time. I just loved the pretty colors of the tree. everything about it. The Quakery little stars. And I am stitching this 2x2 on what I believe is 32 count on a scrap piece of linen from something else. And this is how far I've gotten. When I was on the plane, I only stitched like, I think most of this, or maybe even all the red leaves. And then since I've been home, this is like my travel stitching piece. I have done the trunk and started these pumpkins. So I'm enjoying this. It's a great little stitch. This is a new needle minder, by the way, by the Crafty Snail. Really cute. And that will still be my travel piece. Anytime I go somewhere, you can pick that up real easy and bring it along to stitch on. And then this is the other little piece I brought. It's called Quirky Quaker number 2 Hedgehog. And I'm stitching this for my stepmother-in-law because she has a bunch of little hedgehogs in her powder room, her bathroom. And I thought this little thing she could hang up in there to go along with her collection. Her birthday's in November, so this is definitely a little birthday gift for her. And I am stitching it on, oh, sorry, I should tell you, this is a Darling and Whimsy Designs pattern. And there's a lot more of these little Quakers of all different animals. This is just the hedgehog one. And it's stitched on, it's 2/2 on 28 count Crystal Wren Opalescent Cashel linen. And I decided to use some sparkly thread or linen that I had in my stash because my stepmother-in-law is a very sparkly person. So there he is. It's so cute. Super cute. All one color of thread. I decided to use some of my leftover dinky dyes in the color Iron Bark. So it's a silk. There is a little bit of variegation in here, but it's not super easy to tell. It's kind of lighter right in that area, kind of over here. Very quick stitch. I think this took me 3 sessions, 3 nights of stitching. If you wanted to, you could probably stitch this in a day if you had a good chunk of time. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use this hoop or I think I'm going to try to find something slightly smaller. I feel like there's too much space around, and I do want it to be a lot smaller for her bathroom. I had this hoop in my little, what is that called? A bureau? Or it's a big piece of furniture I keep all my cross stitch stuff in. I had this little one in there, and this has the hardware I needed. Oh well, moving on. Nothing we can do about that now. So that was a little finish. So that's 2 finishes. And then I had a 3rd finish. I didn't have much left to do. Well, maybe I did. This is Welcome Spring by the Drawn Thread. And I stitched it on 30 count Manners Map Legacy linen, and I stitch it 1/2. That's what it's called for. I did what the pattern asked. I want to say the last time I was on here, I had like up to here done, up to the tulip. And then I must have stitched on a couple more letters and then put it down, because all I had to do about a week ago or so was the E, the bird with the flower in its mouth, to finish this one up in this last session. And then I did backstitch. Can't really tell. I might need to do a darker color for this. I did backstitch the tulip and the bunny, just so they didn't get lost on this linen. There's a light gray around the bunny, and then kind of a darker yellow around the tulip. So, welcome spring. I did do the smart thing on this one, which is only use half of the linen. So now I have a whole nother half back here to use for something else. I didn't do that with my other one, but I am going to show it to you because the other one that I finished is Welcome Winter by the Drawn Thread. I have all the seasons, plus I have the Trick or Treat one by the Drawn Thread. And the reason I'm showing you is because I didn't have the buttons last time, and I ended up finding some buttons. They are a little big, I think, for it, but I think it works. So I added the buttons. Okay. This is very stiff. Hard to show you. It's right on the crease. But the snowman had on his hat at the end has a red button, and then it has the 2 green buttons down here. So I quickly added that to Welcome Winter. I had all these intentions of starting all the welcomes plus the trick or treat for the Drawn Thread for every season, and then also doing all the lavender and lace Celtic ladies. As you can see, I bit off way more than I could chew, and I lost steam on all that. I was able to do up to spring, so summer and fall are going to have to wait for another time. Winter and spring I was able to do for the Celtic ladies as well, at least start them. But yeah, that was a lot. Plus I did that Mirabilia May, and I started a bunch of Mirabilias. So I lost steam with all the starting, and a lot of the Celtic ladies I'm color converting, and it takes a lot of effort and chunks of time where I'd rather be stitching than trying to figure out color conversions. So I'll just wait for another time to do all that. Okay, so let's go on to purchases. So this is another funny story, if you could call it funny. I was gonna start Summer Quaker by Lila Studio with the Huga Stitcher. She did a stitch along, and I ordered the supply. It was a little bit last minute, not too last minute. I mean, I knew about the stitch along for a while before I decided I would do it. And the more I saw it, the more I fell in love with this pattern. So I thought, okay, let me get on to 1, 2, 3 Stitch and order it. So I got the pattern, and then it calls for I'm pretty sure it calls for 46 count linen. So I got that, and I decided to do it on an antique white. I feel like it's gonna pop off of the white. And I was waiting for it to come, Usually 1, 2, 3 stitch is pretty quick. And I mean, I get it within the week. And it wasn't being sent, or it wasn't arriving. So I looked at it and could not understand what the deal was. So finally I decided to call 1, 2, 3 stitch. And no, I looked at the tracking and I saw that it was going to go to Bermuda. I believe Bermuda. And I thought, why are they sending this to Bermuda? What happened? And so I called the 1, 2, 3 stitch because I saw it was not moving from Bermuda. I was kind of waiting to see if it was going to make its way back over to Vermont. And they said, oh, I see. You checked off Bermuda when you were making your order. And I thought, what? Because I don't know. I think it automatically is on USA for country, and maybe I accidentally switched it. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was my fault. I apparently accidentally clicked Bermuda, and that's why it went there. And I didn't get this in time, and I still haven't gotten around to starting it either. But I want to. So that was a purchase. And then I also got, I downloaded this, what is it called? Moroccan Lanterns by Vivsters. You can get this on Etsy. I want to stitch the dark, I don't know if it's black or like a dark gray, but I want to do all that color in a sparkly thread of some sort. And then I got 28 count Whisper Lugana. So it's a gray. Just like, I think it's a little lighter than this. So that's something I could start at some point in the future. I want to have a Moroccan inspired room one day in my house, whether that be like my bathroom, my bedroom bathroom, the primary bathroom, or like a sitting room downstairs. I'm not sure. One day. And then I finally jumped on the bandwagon to download the free Brooks Books Advent Animals. I want to stitch those up and do it like Sarah the Stitching Mommy, where she flips it, put it on rings, and you flip it for each day. But I'm not going to put it on paper. I'm going to put it on like felt or something like that. Something a little more sturdy and something that can get touched over and over without, I guess, getting ruined or ripping. So one day I'll get around to these guys. And this is just something I have now. This is a binder that I put some of my patterns in. So this is a peppermint purple, a couple peppermint purples. I just put, I have this pattern, not the physical pattern, but I have this pattern electronically, but I printed it out just for future reference if I ever start it and want to show that in my video. This is the Victorian sampler, all the months. I don't think that's free anymore. It was free at one point. You can still get it, I think, but now you have to pay for it. So I downloaded those when they were free. And then these are free. It's from the Drawn Thread home for the holidays, and all you need is love. And then this is just, I have the letter R in here. That our last name starts with R. One day, if I get into the Valentine mood, I'll stitch this with the R in it. And this is how I'm going to do the summer Celtic lady. And this is all converted already for me. So I just have to follow the conversion. I just have that to store some of my paper stuff. What else? I got a couple needle minders. I already showed you one, Crafty Snail. This is the other one. Kind of like this pointed quilt. Pretty colors. And then these are Gina's Unique Boutique. I ordered the Anna Green Gables and Little Women, and she gave me this free one of a little girl with a stack of books. So I got those. And then something really cool that happened. In my last video, I mentioned that I was collecting teacups like my grandmother had. And I found September, which is here, with the saucer. And this one's, it's a bone china. It's called Bouquet of the Month series in England. Well, a few days after I made the video, we went to this little jumpy place for kids, and next door to that place is Goodwill, so I always just quickly zip through there when we go, because they might have something cross-stitch, or I look at the teacups. And wouldn't you know it, I found May. May was there with the saucer. And this is different though. This one is Royal Albert Bone China Flower of the Month series. And so it's Royal Albert, which is different. And then it's Flower of the Month, not Bouquet of the Month. Well, later, after that happened, I did go to my grandmother's memorial. And I was staying at my cousin's house, and she actually got one of the teacups for October. Her birthday's in October. And I was like, oh, you did? Let me look at that. I need to look at the bottom and see exactly what kind of china it is, because then I was confused on what I'm supposed to be looking for. And it is, in fact, the Royal Albert Flower of the Month. So that's what I'm supposed to be looking for. They look pretty similar. So I don't know how much it really matters which one they are. It says May inside. So this one says May inside, and this one says September outside. So, you know, I'll just keep that in mind with my future searches. Royal Albert is what I'm looking for. But what's really cool is that one daughter is born in September, and my other daughter's born in May. So it's funny that I found those two teacups. I also got enabled and purchased something that I probably will never have time to do. One night I couldn't get to sleep, and I'm subscribed to Suki the Brown-Eyed Stitcher, and she had a whole video about the Diamond Art Club. And I thought, well, let me just watch this and maybe it'll make me sleepy. I know that sounds horrible, but a lot of times Floss, like watching a YouTube video right before I go to bed makes me sleepy. No offense to anyone, that's just what happens. Nothing personal, but I don't think I got sleepy. I think I watched it, or maybe I did fall asleep, but I finished watching it. I watched the whole thing where she unboxes this massive Diamond Art Club kit. And then she gave a discount code. And I thought, you know what? I want one. So I started looking and I found 3. So they're these kind of stained glass ones. This one's Rapunzel. So there she is, and her hair is coming down, and it's got the blue and the purple in the back. That one's 16.5 by 23.2. And then I also got Beauty and the Beast. I don't think I see the Beast in there, but it's kind of like that yellow dress that Belle wears with the brown hair. Love the colors. And then that's the same size. Then this is the biggie. This is 18.5 by 30.7, and this is called Undersea Dreaming. So it's like the Little Mermaid. I'd love to do these and just hang them up with in my girls' rooms, or like maybe if I never get around to them, my daughters will one day want to do them. I don't know. It's fun stuff. But it will have to wait till a time where I'm more organized and can kind of, I want to get to a point where I have sort of a rotation, and then I sometimes maybe do some diamond dots, diamond art. We'll see. Then, what else do I have to talk about? Plants. Okay. What I need to get to, that I haven't gotten to this year at all, is my full coverage Heaven and Earth design. This is artwork by Josephine Wall called Peacock Daze. So for the remainder of the year, I want to be working on this because I want to finish the second row of pages. That's a hanging thread, but I have made my way over and stitched a little bit into these last 2 pages. It's a lot of background with the flowers that's left, but it's still confetti heavy. Every little inch of this is confetti heavy, but maybe just a little less so. And it's easier to stitch on the dark colors than the lighter parts of this. So I'm kind of stitching in those roses, and you can see a lot of it's just this blue purple background that I need to get to. So I have that on Pattern Keeper. What I plan to do is just pick a color, stitch it through, pick the next color, stitch it through until it's done. So I'll have that set out for my nighttime stitching. And then, like I said, from anytime I need something small to travel with, or I stitch on real quick, or like if I'm in the garage while the kids are playing and I'm like bored, which rarely happens, or if I think I have a moment to stitch, of course that's right when I sit down. That's when something goes on where I need to get up and help a child with something. But anyhow, it will be my small stitch for when I need a small stitch, because this isn't something that can be moved around the house a lot. It needs to kind of just have it set up and stayed that way. And then once I'm not working on it, I put a pillowcase over it and just put it away. So that's my plans. I know it's December coming up, Christmas coming up. I don't really plan to do a ton of Christmas stitching. I want to touch on my stocking, and I'd love to put some more stitches in up on the rooftop, but I might not do that till the new year maybe instead. We'll see. Just because I've already stitched on the stocking this year, and I've stitched on up on the rooftop, and I haven't stitched on this. And then if I get in the mood, I do have this Mill Hill that I just need to FFO really. And if I really want, I could fix it because I miscounted. You could see that red part sticks out a little bit more. I don't know what happened there. I could fix that and then FFO it. I think that's what stopped me from finishing this one up. And then I have this one that I haven't even started, which is real cute. Comes with little bells. I don't know if I'll get, I'm not going to have this video up before Halloween. Halloween is in a few days. I need to send my cousin the cross stitch first, and once I know she has that, that's when I'll upload this video. So, enjoy the season, the busy season. All the holidays are coming up. It's crunch time. Enjoy and happy stitching. Bye.